Good morning, good people. This is your Poolproof Wisdom moment. A number of years ago, Kanye West, when he was very popular, recorded a song featuring Rihanna and Sir Paul McCartney. I think it was called 4-5 seconds, something like that. Not quite sure. But what became interesting to me was years later when in a discussion, a group of young people actually came across the song. And when they came across the solo that Sir Paul McCartney played on his guitar in the video, the remark that was heard was this: "Oh, wow, it's so great that Kanye gave that old guy a chance." Yes, that old guy, Sir Paul McCartney, member of the Beatles, icon, the old guy that Kanye West gave a chance. Always struck me as funny and ironic. And it made me think about how often it is today that what is not known is celebrated, actually, to the extent that claiming not to be aware of history, experiences that were open and available to you to learn from, seems to be a thing. I mean, let's face it, the number of people who don't know what they don't know is legion. And because of that, we are dealing with a society where this celebration of ignorance, of unawareness, has permeated almost every sector of society. And it's really scary because the fact is, we need the experience of history to understand it, to appreciate it, in order to figure out where we are and where we may possibly go. And without it, we're left to our own ruination. We see it every day. When individuals speak up on subjects that they have no experience with, no history or understanding of, and they continue to do so despite all evidence to the contrary, provide them with a fact, they'll provide you with a lie or something that they heard from someone else on social media. It's scary. And it's not good for any of us because we must stand in direct opposition to untruth, to the misappropriation of information, to anyone who is willing to propose and communicate things that are false simply to achieve a certain end, to fulfill a specific agenda. And we must challenge it without fail, because much like in that case of the young people who thought that it was Kanye West who gave Sir Paul McCartney a chance, we are dealing with a world in which a lot of people have no understanding of all of the sacrifices, all of the contributions made by so many who have come so long before them that they are able to have the freedom and experience the sheer sense of, I am an individual in this world with rights and opportunity that we are given that so many take for granted because they don't know their history, they don't appreciate it, and they don't respect it. Today is the day, no matter who you are. If you have kids, teach them history. If you're someone who is an adult and you don't know it, crack a book, figure it out, find out what has happened so that you've got context to form an opinion. And by all means, if you're anyone who thinks that you know it all, realize this: the longer you live, if you are smart, you realize that the more you live, the less you know. And that is your calling card for constantly making sure that you are steeping yourself in learning anything and everything you can from every source, from every circumstance, from every experience, and yes, from every person you encounter. That is how you become a person who is living in the world of which they are a part, as opposed to the individual who is living on an island of the creation of their own mind, where no one else and nothing else matters but the simple idea that you have the right to form an opinion, whether it is informed or not. That's your Poolproof Wisdom moment for today. Find me on Anchor.fm, Spotify, Apple and Google Podcasts, and podcast platforms everywhere.